often when we ask the question, who are you? It's not so easy to answer, because for me, for example, I'm an academic, I'm a black person, I'm a male, I grew up in Germany, I'm a European, I'm so many things. I have so many different overlapping identities. I don't just have one identity where it can fix me. And this is actually true for everybody. So if everybody really starts to inquire who they are, they'll see that there aren't just one thing or one category, but much more than that, much more overlapping, interdependent aspects of themselves. And when we look into the notion of intersectionality, where it comes from more like the feminist perspective, it means that every person, every individual is embedded in power structures that affect them very much individually. So you can't just generalize a person just because you're a woman, you're black, you're queer, but you have a complete individual experience, and the power structures that you're embedded in are affecting you in very individual ways. And if we put this into the environmental perspective, so the intersectional environmentalist perspective, it very much means something similar. It means that if we look at the results that, for example, climate change has, we see that environmental destruction, extractionist behavior affects people very differently. So, for example, we see that black communities around the world, indigenous communities around the world are hit much, much harder by climate change and by the ecological destruction which is going on right now. And it's not only, and I think this is very, very important to mention, it's not only the impacts of climate change that are different for different people and different communities, but also when we look at where climate change comes from, we're getting very deep into the whole climate justice and climate racism and so on discussion. We can talk a lot about this, but I think what's very important to mention is climate change is very much rooted in racism, right? It has been this behavior of dominance and violence and extraction, and the idea of man and other, and man and nature, man and women, man and indigenous people. And not only men, it has mostly been white men. And I recently read a paper which was published by the Böll Foundation, which criticized a little bit the word that is circling right now very often, the Anthropocene. Maybe you've heard about it. It's the age that we're in right now, which says, okay, it's where man makes climate, or humans make the atmosphere and so on. But if you're really looking into it, has it really been humans, all humans? Or has it actually been mostly white men in history who've been responsible for what is happening right now? So they're suggesting a world called the white Capitalocene, which I really, really liked. Very, very interesting. So, yeah, so if we look at the causes and also the impacts, who it's affecting, it's not distributed equally.